Ankita. How are you?
I'm good.
Hi. So how is it in Kigali? Tell us all about it. We're so jealous of you being there.
Yeah, people have been asking me about you. Like, where is Julia?
So is that. Yeah. So tell me all about it. So how was yesterday? What did you do yesterday?
Yesterday, there were like lots of delegates. I couldn't imagine so many people were actually attending. And there were people from all over the place. I met few Indians, and there were like people from Nigeria. There are like lots of local people as well. They have all the people who are like into businesses and everything. And the president of Rwanda was there, and he gave a speech about it. And I'm surprised he was there for a very, very long time. I mean, he gave all his attention to the Commonwealth event, whatever he could have given.
Brilliant. Okay. So has Boris Johnson shown up yet?
I think he's showing up tomorrow, not
Okay.
tomorrow.
Right.
Tomorrow is the main event when he is going to show up. That's what I heard. I'm not sure.
Right.
Even I'm waiting for it.
So tell us about the events that you've attended. There was something about, the global reset. What was all that about?
It was basically about like how the Commonwealth countries would move beyond COVID-19, and they have to like change policies, which has to be more friendly so that like Commonwealth nations can do business together, and how fast the startups could like get into one country to another so that they can expand. They have their branches. So this is what they talk all about. Like, we need to move forward. We have to do actions. We have to be quick about like expanding and introduce like technology. And government was declaring sort of things like, we are ready to make investments if you want from us, especially Rwanda. It was majorly focused about Rwanda, that they want to go in together with all the other countries, and the competition are US and UK and India, sort of those things, and they want to be their competitor. Because right now, I think that's what they said. Like, I mean, they're not even in the list of the competition. So they are targeting for the next 5 years, like to be there and be one of the hub of the investment and companies.
Oh, that's good. So were there any concrete actions you think are going to come out of that? Or was it more on the theoretical level?
Well, I mean, there were like people who were like typically like pinpointing questions like, we want figures, we want numbers, we want date when it will be like announced. So I think there were a few announcements made, like what amount of money the government would be spending in the next 5 years, and what kind of investments they are looking for, and what is their like target for the next 5 years. They basically made this like 5-year plan kind of a thing on Commonwealth.
Right. Wow. It sounds like a lot of things that we could be looking at. That sounds really interesting. And what about the Commonwealth trade and reducing barriers? Because we're always hearing this is Commonwealth advantage, where it's already supposedly 20% more, less cost to deal among Commonwealth countries. So what are they talking about, reducing barriers?
It was basically, again, the same discussion, like reducing government barriers. But there were like panel of like startups. There was this company called Paystack. The owner was there. I think he's quite a big shot in Africa. He's trying to expand the whole of Africa. So, and he recently expanded to Rwanda. So that's what he said. Like, they kind of enlighten people that actually registering in Rwanda is quite easy. Generally, in other African countries, the process of registering and licensing takes around like 1 to 2 years. But in Rwanda, you can do it in 6 months.
6 months sounds quite a long time to me, actually.
Even I was surprised. I was like, well, I mean, 2 years in Africa. I'm like, that's why it's so difficult for them to expand. I mean, there are so many government restrictions. Even in my country, I think it's just like a 2 or 3 days process.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. And even quicker in some of the special economic zones in India, I think.
I think it's because they have like less digital laws. They also talked about like they have made some 17 new laws to be in the competition. So I don't know what laws.
But I mean, it was already very quick in other countries like India before anything was digital. So this is not only to do with digital, right?
Yeah, even I don't know why it's like, and they were like promoting this, like it only takes 6 months. So I was surprised. I was like, really? Like, does it take 6 months? And how is that good? They need to work on it more. It has to be like at least a 1 week is fine.
But did they talk about opening bank accounts and bank account processes and all the things that go
The
with?
whole process, there was this person with the bank and everything.
Well, in
And
fairness, I think opening bank accounts takes quite a long
I
time,
think
all over the
I
place.
think finance is like their major investment right there in Rwanda. So he was also there speaking about like he's there for the past 3 or 4 months, just to expand here and understand the trade and investments. And he also talked to us about it, like what are his plans. So yeah, even I need to see. I'll figure it out, like what exactly 6 months take. I'll get back to you on that tomorrow.
So, Ankita, you're a lawyer in India. What do you know how you'd become a lawyer in Rwanda? Is there going to be any kind of making it easier to become a lawyer there for people from common law countries or anything like that? Was that talked about?
No, I don't think so.
Right.
But that's a good question.
Maybe we could put that on the agenda, right?
Who were the other speakers on the panel? So you mentioned Rwanda startups. Who else was on there? Who else was part of this?
I will have to Google name because they were like mostly South African people. I only know Jesse Finance.
So the next one is positioning Commonwealth for the future of work. I mean, this all sounds like same, post-pandemic, blah, blah, blah. What was this one about?
I think just like they just generally discussed about the policies and what changes they could bring specifically in Africa. And I don't know, I'm actually surprised. This is my first Commonwealth event, so I was expecting lots of different countries to talk about it, but they were just like majorly Africans and few, just like maybe like 2 or 3 people who are trying to make investments in Rwanda, which Rwanda is like really trying hard to promote. Otherwise, there was not so much talking about. They're promoting their startups, which is like called Ampersand. I think the president like applauded that startup. It's kind of a startup where in bikes they have battery charges. So instead of refilling to the filling station, they can actually change battery from their bike and leave it to some shop or maybe something, and then they can change the battery and they can move on. So
that makes sense. Yeah, because like Teslas are so difficult to charge up because you've got to put your car somewhere and find somewhere. If you could switch it over like that, it would make it much more doable, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's like actually it takes lots of time to get charged.
Yeah. So, well, maybe they'll be talking more tomorrow about the Commonwealth more globally, because today, it seems like yesterday was very Rwanda focused from what you're telling me.
Maybe.
Yeah, well, it's always interesting to know more about Africa. It's probably somewhere where the rest of the world doesn't know enough about. Yeah. So what do you think is the best thing about this conference so far?
I think the people, I mean, I found people even from my city coming here, and they are like, and they were like surprised. They came in here like in my local language, like, what are you doing here? I'm like, it's a Commonwealth meeting. So yeah, there are like lots of people from different places and they are here, and it's a very good opportunity to connect with people, do business. And even if the government is not talking about it, there are people, you can connect with them and talk about them, like how to do things and stuff here, what are their plans, and if not in Rwanda, somewhere else.
All about the networking then. So that's really, the speeches are just the backdrop to that, I guess. Yeah. So what's the worst thing about the conference, if that was the best thing, the networking?
For me, I think it's the same thing. There are lots of people. It's like really hard to focus whom to talk and whom to connect with. Like all the people around you, they look important, but you have to choose because you have limited time.
So do they have an app where you can connect with people on an app or anything like that, like they have at some conference?
Yeah, they have. I think even Mateena were trying to connect, but it's still, it's not flexible. It's not like live. I can just schedule a meeting and I just have to wait for the other person to show up there.
So they don't have any speed dating kind of sessions, like some business meetings have. They haven't got speed dating.
I don't know. I was quite surprised. Not many business people are still very digital friendly. I think they need to work on that because it was strange being very young. People have been asking to me, like, how do you know that guy? Like, through LinkedIn. And they were like, I'm like, oh, internet, this is all about. I'm like, yeah. Like, have you met? I'm like, no, this is our first time. So that is how you need to work on. That's how internet works. I'm like,
That's really
yeah.
interesting because 60% of the Commonwealth is supposedly under 30 or something, right? So obviously it's not, the age demographic isn't completely represented then at CHOGM, I guess, from what you're saying. Yeah. So what's your biggest takeaway from it so far?
Networking, I think now I know a lot of people, and yeah.
So are there any small island nations around? Have you met them from the Caribbean or the Pacific or, places?
I think there was some lady who was supposed to show up from Vanuatu, but she tested positive.
Okay.
So she's in quarantine. So actually they are testing, and there have been people who have been quarantined. So they have been very strict about it. And she was like one of the speakers.
Oh my
So
goodness, poor lady. So did she get quarantined when she arrived in Rwanda or before she set
yes,
up?
in Rwanda. Yeah, from the airport.
In the hotel or where have they put her somewhere?
That I don't know. I just know like she's in quarantine. She tested positive.
Well, I suppose that's good rather than have a super spreader event, right?
Actually.
So what's your impression of Kigali? What do you think of the city?
People have been teasing me like you might settle here because I've been getting marriage proposals.
No way. What do you mean?
I think it's sort of like local people tend to like me, like, and they're super friendly, and there have been guys hitting on me, and like there have been moms telling me, "Oh no!"
Wow, this is the latest selling point for CHOGM, isn't it? Right? Yeah, you don't need a dating app. Just go to CHOGM.
That's so South Asian culture. It's like following you all the way to Rwanda.
So few people have like even got me gifts. They want to like share. I don't get the opportunity to meet them, but they have texted me, "I've got your gift. Don't go without it. Just like try to meet me. I'll drop it at your hotel. Tell me your name of your hotel." I'm like, okay, fine. It sounds so sweet. I'll text my dad.
Very strangers bearing gifts, Ankita.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. So how many people are there all together, do you think?
I think it's more than 10,000. I don't know. I've not seen so many business people at one place. Like, I think there are like more delegates than they expected. I mean, like Women Forum, it was like quite well mannered, well organized, everything. So I think they had a good number about it. But with the business one, I think the numbers went out beyond their expectations, because even at the food and everything, there are like so many people, and there are people talking about it and everything. But yeah, because like the event got cancelled 2 or 3 times before I managed to talk to some people. They were like, we have prepared for this like 3 or 4 times. So this time the government was like, we will just do it in the last 3 days. They're not going to
trying to prepare it so often. Maybe they thought, oh, is it really going to happen?
Yeah. So this time, so considering like just it's only a preparation for like 3 or 4 days, it's amazing.
Okay, that's good. And how's the food? What kind of food are they serving?
I think they're more into like Asian food. I don't know. It's like kind of a same menu, but I didn't see any local dish being flaunted. I was waiting for it. I just wanted to try like what is like Rwanda dish or what, but I think it's like majorly fruits they have. So yeah, you get lots of fruits. Even on the breakfast menu, they have like lots of fruits. So I still need to figure out like what's their local dish.
Yeah, I wonder if there's going to be some local cuisine dinner or something like that. You normally have something like that at these events. Yeah. So the overall atmosphere, is it people excited, or is it sort of good natured? How would you describe the overall atmosphere?
I think on the first day, yeah, people were really excited about it, and they stayed till like 10 p.m. starting from like 10 a.m. So, and yeah, that's what I said. It's so exciting that even President stayed. I mean, there was this announcement that he might leave, and he didn't stood up. He was just there. And like then the speaker was like, "Oh, you're not leaving? Oh, this is so wonderful."
He's really enjoying himself.
That's fantastic. Oh, what a great atmosphere to have that. That's really great. Good. So tell us what's going to happen tomorrow.
I will keep you updated.
Okay.
What will happen?
Fantastic. All right. So we'll talk again tomorrow then, Ankita, and wonderful to talk to you. Have a great day today.
Yeah, have a good
Bye.
day.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.